Hello and welcome to my latest Minecraft video. Today I'm going to be showing you a multi-user settable combination lock system. Before now, in some of my previous videos, you've seen some of the banking systems I've made, and most of those you've had to set manually with redstone. So for a long time I've been trying to develop a better method of doing that. So in some of my previous videos you've seen this contraption I made, which had a memory cell that then got told whether it should be positive or negative, and then it got compared with AND gates, and it was all rather complicated and large, but it worked. It was settable. It was only for one combination, but it worked. I then went on to redesign the memory cell to allow it to be for them to be next to each other. So I developed this one, and I used it in this design, and I came up with a better way of comparing feeds, whereby this contraption here will tell you whether the two feeds from either side are not equal to each other. So both are positive, both are negative, but not that one's positive and one's negative, or one's negative and one's positive. So again, it became quite tall, and it's definitely smaller than the previous version, but not as small as I would like. One second, let me just set the time. There we go. So I came up with a new design for comparing feeds, which was this one here. Now the problem with, actually, did I come up with this, or did someone? No, I think someone else came up with this, and I found it on a YouTube video. So anyway, the problem with this one was you can't put them directly next to each other. So then I had this one here, and as you can see, one's there and one's there, so they're not quite next to each other, and it was still rather long. So I needed a new design for comparing feeds, and in a YouTube video I found this design, which is absolutely perfect. It's so small you can put them next to each other, and it works really, really well. So just to show you how this works, if one feed is on and the opposite one is off, then this is positive, and as you can see, this feed here isn't correct. Then if I turn this one off, then both are positive. It'll be off because they'll match each other. So it's really, really useful, and in fact for a settable combination, not if you want to be really, really simple, this is the perfect design. But I wanted something better than that. So this was then the new design I made from here, which on one side has the memory cells, and on the other side, if I left an opening somewhere, on the other side you have these, because you don't really need to have memory cells on the other side. So it's a really small design, and it's reasonably simple. It's only really limited by the range of 15 length that that current can pass through redstone, so you'd need a repeater. But anyway, I then where am I looking? Anyway, I came up with some more designs for my pistons to make them smaller, some of them larger. So in the previous video I showed you these three designs, and I wanted to come up with a multi-floor banking system from a single set of memory cells. So in another video I found a way to make an RS NOR latch that would reset the others when you press 1. So I used it for a level system here. So if I press number 2, it would set to number 2 but turn off number 1. So that's where you tell it which vault you're trying to enter. So I've got the memory cells here, lined up next to each other, which you've seen before, and then the comparison to check whether both feeds are positive or both feeds are negative goes here, and another one up there, so they're layered on top of each other. And from the vault, if you've selected the vault for the floor you're on, this piston will open and it'll allow the feed through. So then if the feed is correct, it'll go down here and open the door. So if I show you it in practice, say number 1. So I want to enter vault number 1. The code happens to be 1. and in a second this will open. I'll go in. This resets the feed. There you go. And I can then go up to the vault, which is up here. Now I could then set the feed to 136, yeah, 136, and go back down. Now the problem when you go back down is that the door will be closed because it will no longer be correct. So this button here will open the door to you, which you can't press from back here. And then if I set it to 1356, did I put it under? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1356 or 1? Yeah, it was 1356. So that's the new code and open that door. But if I change the vault to vault 2, that will then go back up. It won't be correct. So I can hit the reset button for the feed. And the code for vault number 2 is 2. And I can go up and do exactly the same thing. Now, yeah, you might want to have some sort of elevator system with this because it does get quite tall. But essentially, you could actually have it running down again to do more floors on the bottom as well. But it's actually, despite looking really big, most of this is just to make it look pretty. The actual feed itself is very small. So yeah, memory cells down here. Comparison engine, I don't know what the proper name for it is. And then you've got this as well, which just checks the vault numbers. So all in all, it's a really good system for a bank. I definitely suggest it to you guys. And yeah, I think that's about it really. It's been quite a long journey, but I found a way of doing multi-user bank systems with settable codes that don't require coding with Redstone. There you go. So anyway, subscribe and like guys, and let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.